Hey, what up, though?
What up? What's cracking?
So, guys, how was your week?
I can't complain at all.
Yeah, mine was good. I got into the manifesting and the chakras and the meditating. So that's been different for me, man. Just getting on another level with learning myself and stuff like that.
Wow, I'm learning about that now. I'm starting to do yoga. I haven't actually got into, sitting on the floor and doing all that. I just sit in the middle of my bed and meditate and
Because anything that deals with the body and the mind, it's everything with the body starts with the mind. You know what I'm saying? So once you get that clear, everything else will come through. Mm-hmm.
You see how at peace you are once you do yoga,
Mm-hmm.
the meditation.
Yeah.
That's what I found. But guys, today we're going to talk about incarceration and effects when being released from prison. We got some awesome young men here that unfortunately had to sit down for a minute, and they came out stronger. We have Maniac.
What up, though?
We got Book.
What's cracking?
And we got Uncle Doug from Herbal Tea that's going to be sitting in with us. And
What up, though? Herbal Tea Podcast. Definitely, we here.
So, guys, in the United States, we know that we have the highest incarceration rate in the world. What do you think about that statement?
Well, that just shows a lot about our system. Saying it's broken, they believe everything you do, you're supposed to, get locked up and get sent away, be away from your family. That's always the answer for that. So it just shows that how, America is ran. All about money.
Yeah, they say that most African Americans that go to prison, they're in there because they are fatherless. They live in poverty. And for the most part, they're just not being raised correctly. What do you guys think about that statement?
I mean, well, as far as me, I didn't grow up with a dad, you know what I'm saying, that was in my life. I don't think that's what drove me to jail or drove me to be a criminal, I guess, as you can say. It was the materialistic things, the same thing that started back in the days when we separated us from the house Negro to the outside to the yard Negro. It's the same thing now. You know what I'm saying? We separate the rich from the poor with materialistic things. So I didn't want to go get no job and go get it, so I had to go out here and get it. And what bro was saying, I think that they confuse incarceration with rehabilitation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that's fucked up. You know
And unfortunately, our men and our young men are not coming out rehabilitated. Actually, when they go in, they learn other ways of how to commit crimes.
Definitely.
When you think about the number of incarceration right now, according to from March the 31st of this year, we have 46,315 people incarcerated in Michigan alone. That's a big number. And just think about in Michigan, we have 40 state prisons. We got 17 local jails. We got 5,600 federal prisons.
Right.
We got 1,600 young people in juvenile detention. We got 172,000 just on probation.
Wow.
And 17,000 on parole. That's a large number.
That's a big business. That's what it is.
That's how Michigan is ran. They ran off their prison system.
It's a business. I think
When they cut that check at the beginning of the year, the beginning of the quarter, it's really for the prison systems. And after they do what they're supposed to do for the prison, that's when the roads get fixed and everything else, coming apart. But our main their main focus is the prison system.
And then prison now is private too, though. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of private prisons. So, the point of, I'm making this investment. If I'm investing, because I can invest in prisons just off the stock market. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all keep getting locked up, it's keeping my money coming. So at the end of the day, it's a business, just like anything else. Church is a business. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, schools look just like prisons. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's kind of, then they get you on the 3 meals a day. You know what I'm saying? Or a meal and a half. So it's all set up for the.
So when you think about the education system, they tell you by the third grade, they can tell you if you're going to be within the penal system. That's where they do the third grade, pipeline. So by the third grade, I try to tell parents, don't allow, when I was teaching, don't allow these teachers to label your children. Don't allow them to put titles on your children. They do that for a reason. When they start labeling them as they're younger, he's bad. And unfortunately in the school system, what the teachers usually do is, if you have a student and this student is giving you issues, you don't really resolve that issue within your classroom. On breaks, on your prep periods, lunch, you next door talking to the next teacher.
Right.
Saying, this kid is bad. His mama, ain't raising him right. This and that. So when this young kid goes from your grade to the next grade and has to have this teacher, she already have preconceived ideas of this student.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So all the write-ups that he's gotten or she's gotten in your class, by the time she or he gets to the next class, they've already have an idea about your child. So the first thing your child do, it's, I heard about you. We finna write you up. We got to get you up out of here. And the more times you write a child up, they're pinging your child, for the system.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately.
And that happens in family too, because let's say if my cousin Jimmy got his people over and they like, damn, such and such kid is bad as hell. Then I throw an event. You know what I'm gonna say? Don't bring them damn kids over shit. I ain't about to let you prove shit to me. Just don't bring them. If he said they bad, they bad. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it comes from mentorship. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of agree with that father in the house shit, kind of, because if I had a dad in the house that was disciplining me, because a lot of these kids just look for discipline. So. You know what I'm saying? They look for somebody to lead, hey, this not right, do it like this. I didn't have that. A lot of dads be in the house that be in the house but not in the house. He just work, come home, pay these bills. So what is his value to his sons? Like that's still like being raised without one. You know what I'm saying? So
So we know that in the United States, we have the highest rate of incarceration. And that's sad. Even if you talk about the different countries, the United States outrank everybody. The solution seems to be here in the United States that, we're going to give you some time to think about it. So, we have Maniac with us. Maniac served, 6 years in prison?
Yes.
And then Boog served 6 years in prison. And Uncle Doug.
I just did 18 months, but I did a boot camp after that, so I ain't stay that long. Thank God.
Still there, though.
Yeah, hell yeah. Still went through there, so.
So when you guys were going through the process, how was it?
I was scared, man. Shit, I ain't gonna even lie. When you leave the county and go in there, they be telling you about James Brown, and you know what I'm saying.
You know something.
You know what I'm saying. You sitting up there, you like, man. But man, once you get in there, it's all about how you take care of yourself and handle your business, man. All that old about to get touched and all that old, the homosexual shit. That's only if you really want it or you getting shit on credit. You know what I'm saying? But as far as my experience, man, I just went through there and thank God I ain't never been back. But I let these brothers, they've been there longer than me, so I in their experience.
Do you think the court system play a part in that as far as when it comes to I think systematic racism?
Yes, it does, most definitely, because I was 16 years old when I caught my case. My first offense, I was in Muskegon County selling drugs. The police, they ran in the house. The house wasn't in my name. Drugs was hid in the house. They took me down. And being that it was my first offense, I didn't even get caught with drugs on me. I still got 6 to 20 years, So, and it was like the courts railroaded me. They didn't want to hear nothing my lawyer had to say. I had a black lady. They didn't want to hear nothing she had to say. They didn't care about what she had to say. No. My father got me a lawyer, and they didn't want to. She was from here, the building downtown, the Penobscot's building. Yeah. She came from the Penobscot's building, and they didn't want to hear nothing she had to say. They didn't accept none of her motions. They didn't care. The judge flat out said he was using me as an example, and gave me 6 to 20 years, first offense at 16 years old. So I was I was more nervous in the courtroom than I was going through quarantine and all of that. because I guess it was just the fact of me sitting in this room and there was nobody. The only black people that was in there was me, my lawyer, and my father. Everybody else from the police and everybody else was white. So I guess that was more nervous for me because I had never been in like that kind of setting before.
Right.
So
now, when you were sitting in the court system, I mean, when you were sitting in the court and the different cases was going before you, did you notice a pattern?
Well, no, because I was still. They kept me in the county.
Okay.
I was the only time I knew it was a different case was when the next brother was going in, sitting in front of the judge
so you
himself.
guys wasn't like it is now, where everybody's sitting like in a booth, like the jury sit in, and when they call you, you stand up.
I guess it depends on what kind of felony you got, what kind of case you got. Because I was still in the county. They brought us from the cell down into another holding tank with just inmates, and then they took us out to the courtroom, and then they took us back to that cell, and then we was back up to the cell.
Was your family in the courtroom?
No, my father was, because I was all the way in Muskegon County.
Okay.
So my father was there.
Were you able to make eye contact?
Yeah, I was able to contact, but I couldn't get no hug when it was over.
Did you said you got the lawyer from Detroit?
Yeah.
See, a lot of times when you in the I can't say it, municipalities, the courts, if you don't get a lawyer from their jurisdiction, you gonna get railroaded anyway because they fraternize with each other. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know this. When you pay your lawyer, he chips some bread off to the prosecutor, and that's how they find out what they gonna charge you with after you pay them. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about money.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, unfortunately. You know.
Yeah, oh, it's most definitely about money.
Yeah.
We were talking about the other day. Someone mentioned Kim Kardashian and her getting 17 people, free from prison. And although that's,
That's great.
That's great. It's almost like cherry picking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you picking who you want
for sure.
to get released. High profile cases, cases that will make you look like you somebody.
Right, but it's not like she's going forth and like digging up trees or burning a tree. It's like, and then I hate to say it, but it is what it is. When you have white people that interject themselves in our culture, our communities, saying that they're helping, they do a little dab here, they do a little dab there, but they're not trying to go after the system that
the
created
problem.
these issues.
Yeah, but that comes from comes from us too, because
even with us.
Yeah, that comes from us because we look at we put these people above like they are gods. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they're humans. Second of all, they give us a little bit so we just latch on. You know what I'm saying? So but like you said,
that's the same thing. Even if if you hire an African American attorney, that African American attorney will try to get you off.
Right.
But he's not going back to the community trying to write legislation, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that the system is corrected.
No.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you paying him, he's getting you off. He's getting you off. You know what I'm saying? He's going back and he's spending that money.
Yeah.
So that's almost like another indication of we're still mentally enslaved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the solution because I want that money, which me trying to act like, and I'm not saying
that's
some
part of the
attorneys
problem.
don't. Try to really work hard for you. Yeah. But most of them see them dollar signs.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what they go to school for. I mean, that's what it's about, money, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we're going to come back and try to help our neighborhoods, whatever the case may be. But I think the overall problem is we keep asking our oppressor to free us.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We keep wanting to go up under him and have him free us, and that's the biggest problem.
Because we don't know how to free ourselves.
No, we think white water is cold.
Yeah, we
you
don't. We have to learn that we are the ones that's going to have to free ourselves.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's going to allow us to free ourselves is this white man going to have to squeeze a little tighter and make us a little more angrier, because every time we get squoze and get angry, then we come together.
Yeah.
But we don't hold that. We come together and we feel satisfied, and then we back in the strip club.
Yeah. Because you know what? Perfect example of that, when we started the Black Lives Matter, when it first started, and we was marching and shit, I'm like, boy, we about to tear some shit down. You know what I'm saying?
But they say it's a white person who owned that.
He got to, because what they did.
And all we did was build up their agenda. You know what I'm saying? See, instead of us doing research and really, trying to figure this thing out, like you say, with Black Lives Matter, that wasn't for us. That was for the LBG
Yeah, the gay community.
I think
XYZ community. You know what I'm saying? You know how much money was poured into that movement?
Yeah.
See, I
and
think
it didn't trickle down to the African American community at all.
I think it probably started out for us, but as it grew,
it started
took a
out
turn.
for them. And
it started
then
out for them.
we started trying to turn the tide where, Black Lives Matter about us, and they quickly let us know it ain't about you.
Right. Well, that's anytime black people try and come up with something for ourselves, everybody either say we're racist for coming up with something for ourselves, or they want to latch on to it.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to stick with ourselves and put into ourselves. We have to learn to start loving and caring for ourselves even more, because we don't know how.
Right.
We don't know how. We know how to love our family and our friend, but when it comes to loving somebody who you don't even know, then that's the problem right there. We have to learn how to care. When we see a black man, we supposed to look at that black man and know that that's my brother, that's my father, that's my cousin.
Right.
I want for him what I want for myself. Yeah, we have to learn. We're all taught to love, but we're not. When we fall out of love, we're not taught how to fall out of love and still care.
Right. And then another thing is this. I think we look at each other's competition, man.
Yeah.
If you got a Cadillac, I'm about to get one on rims. You know what I'm saying? If you got some J's, I'm about to put some diamonds in that shit. And that's why I said it earlier. It's the division. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It went from light skin to dark skin to materialistic shit. If you don't got shit, I don't want to be around you because you can't add nothing to my life. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why I got off of the and I don't know if y'all Black Crusaders, I apologize, but I got off that Black Crusade shit. I'm helping my tribe. The people who I fuck with, that's in my circle, them the only people I'm trying to get rich with. And if it happens to do something else, as far as helping the community for sure, but as far as getting rich and changing the things, I'm doing that for me and my tribe.
I feel like we already too damaged. We too damaged and
too far gone.
We too far gone for me. You feel me? I feel like to jump in and try to save 1 million people. As long as I can save somebody around me, hopefully he can turn around and change somebody else along the way.
Or help his kids.
That's how it's supposed to go anyway.
When Detroit public school had that coined that phrase, each one teach one.
Each one teach one.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what it's about.
And that's just not as far as education, or as far as you going to school, but that's on an everyday basis. You know, we got to, for you guys, you're probably in your 30s.
I'm 40.
30s, 40s.
I'm 50.
You see these young cats around here.
Black don't crack.
Getting into stuff.
But nowadays you got to pick and choose which one are you even supposed to talk to. And now you can try to help somebody out, and he turn around and bite you, for trying to help him. You seen it with the firefighter. I think like a few years back, he was helping a young teen out, and let him stay in his house. That he turned around and killed him.
Like they say, you got to watch what dog you feeding, because one may try to bite you.
Come on, yeah.
Hell yeah.
All stray dogs ain't meant to be fed.
Hell yeah.
Watching, as far as going through I've never been in prison or anything like that, but sitting in a courtroom, you seeing the plethora of mothers sitting there in pain, hurting, watching their child be railroaded. And there's nothing that that you can do. They don't afford you the opportunity to really ask questions. You know what I'm saying? You just sitting there like
watching the fate.
It's almost like another form of slavery.
Yeah.
Waiting for your child number to be called so they can put a
auction
price.
block.
What you gonna get? What you gonna get? I've sat in the courtroom and seen some Caucasian brothers with equal or more crimes or charges as some young African American brothers. And they were let out on tethers.
I seen.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
They were,
that happened to me in my second case.
They were told, "Oh, well, we're gonna get them some drug treatment." They don't look at our children. They look at our children as
slaves.
slaves.
That because we were only brought over here in America to be slaves. We were not brought over here to be millionaires, to be role models, to be successful. We were not brought over here for that. We were brought over here for one reason and one reason only, and that's to be slaves.
Definitely.
So, but see, in the scriptures it says that the first should be last and the last should be first. So we are going to rise up. We're rising up. See, we used to be scared. We used to walk around with our head down, scared to look at the white man, scared to look at the white woman, but we not scared no more. So now we just need direction with this fearlessness that we got. And it's going to take, it starts at home.
But how hard is it when you are sent, to prison and you get in there and you look around and the majority of the COs, which is correction officers for people who don't know, are of another race. How hard is
There's a
that?
lot of black ones.
It's the
in there.
same.
a lot of
It's
black
the
ones
same
in
when
there,
you go
though.
to the corner store and the Arabs on the store, the Arab,
You
the
got no
Chaldeans
control.
on the
You got
gas
no control,
station.
Yeah, you just got to go in there and shop. Shit.
And it's
used
so
to the
crazy
white man
because
being in
it's more,
authority, so-
it's more black CO. I mean, it's more white COs that's cooler than black
Yeah.
COs in there.
And that comes from probably the black people think, okay, I don't want them to look at me like I'm helping them out because they
helping them
black.
out,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like I'm trying to keep my job. And that goes with officers as well. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you guys saw or faced inside of the walls? I call them.
Depression, loneliness. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how much of a thug or gangster you is. You gonna get lonely, especially if you don't got that interaction from your family. It ain't gotta be from a significant other. It's just having somebody that you know talk to. Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Woo, woo. If you ain't got no sense as far as like family structure or like people out there that's gonna care for you, or no grind or no hustle inside that joint, it get lonely. Them phone calls cost.
Man.
They do.
Like shit, I mean, not trying to be funny.
Man.
I done seen my mama tell you, I done went through like $400, $500, $700 a month on the phone.
Hell yeah.
You got people that haven't talked to their people in years, months.
Like, and I understand,
For real.
you know, as a mother, I understand you don't not want to see your son or your daughter in that situation, but what I can't understand is I don't care what my child does. I'm not about to toss my child to no system, and you know,
But
I don't
sometimes
put myself in a position.
tough love is the best love.
Some
We
people
always
don't
just
know
say
what to
that.
do.
But you
Some
can
people
do
don't know
the
what to
tough
do.
Love, but at least hear your child's voice.
But listen, if you struggling out in the world, I can't expect for you to send me some money. If you struggling, I'll be insensitive to ask you to send me $1, and I know every day you wake up, my little cousin, my little sister ain't got a plate on their table.
Listen, that's cool to say that, but when you look
Listen.
around and you see these parents with weaves that cost $300, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but
and them expensive bags. I'm just saying, even if it's $10
But they
or
ain't
$20,
cause you to get
they
locked
didn't.
up.
You went to
did
jail.
that.
but it doesn't matter.
That's understandable.
I just want to hear their voice to make sure.
Yeah,
that
that's
they
understandable.
See,
Yeah.
that's a mother's love.
Yeah.
That's unconditional love. That's
Right.
unconditional.
Yeah, that's unconditional love.
You can hear it in their voice. You can hear when you can see it in their eyes. You know, so like
That's
when
right.
I had to go visit my son. I needed to lay eyes on him. I needed to see his eyes, not just talk to him on the phone, because for most guys that are in prison, they not gonna really tell their mothers what's going on,
Right.
what's happening.
Yeah.
So you know they trying to make it seem like it's all right, so she won't be worried.
Okay.
You know, but when I go up there and I look in his eyes, I can tell if he all right or he not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
He definitely gonna
You
have to
need
be a
that
man up in there.
support.
He definitely
yeah,
gonna have to be a
I turned
man.
into a man in there.
He,
got to.
he definitely gonna be that. But I used to, you know what? I used to enjoy the letters, man.
Them letters?
Put that little light perfume
Back
on
when
it.
they used to
Get
let
that
the
letter.
perfume come in.
Yeah,
Oh, my God.
man. I remember my homeboy one time, he an artist, so he drew a picture of a vagina. He was like, nigga, this is scratch and sniff, nigga. You scratch it, you can smell stuff. I was scratching that shit for like 3 days. Yeah. So, man, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna say it like this too. Jail ain't all that bad. Like you
But
get
it's a
with some
difference
home.
it's a difference between jail and prison.
Yeah, well, I went to prison for
is
18
bad.
months.
See.
But prison ain't that bad. Like once you get with your core people that you fuck with,
But
you know,
it is, but it ain't.
yeah, it ain't like
It is,
you
but
was
it ain't,
sitting in
but
the
it
cell.
is.
I mean, you
It
hooping,
is.
playing
It is,
cards,
but it ain't, but it
gambling.
is.
You gotta say who you was though.
Yeah.
Who you are.
Yeah,
You
right.
as the man made it not easy.
Yeah.
I mean, made it easy.
Made it easy. Because I'm not going to press my
Yeah.
bit and be like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait to go home every day. No, nigga, let's
Yeah.
play these cards.
But-
Let's come get dunked on.
But
You know
it's
what I'm
really
saying?
like, I ain't gonna lie, it's hard. If you ain't really like, you know, like street smart,
Yeah.
and really like, I ain't gonna say like you know a few people. It's hard if you go in there and you just green to the world.
Yeah.
You green to the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Because they gonna chew you up and eat you.
Eat you.
Period. Listen, I don't
But-
care how much of a thug you. I done seen people that in the streets, they known killers. They come in a joint, they getting smacked on, they not getting no food, they not able to use the phone, they barely able to take a shower. So it don't really matter how much gangster you is, because in there ain't no guns. All it is fists and knives. So it's really like tough. Depends on who you is. We just never had to probably go through it because who we are.
Yeah.
But to the next person, it's a terrifying, you know, experience.
Some
One of
people
the
it's
most
terrifying.
terrifying thing that you saw in prison that made you say, dang, like this dude is gone.
I know I was brushing my teeth one morning, and next thing you know, I just heard some guy hit, and there was blood on the mirror. This guy got hit in the head with they had some locks in the sock, and they hit him in the head, and that was like my second day there. My second morning, I woke and I was like, man, this is crazy. I just had to slide over to the next sink and finish brushing my teeth and got on up out of there because I was like, man. And then come to find out, he got hit in the head because he owed a guy 2 oranges.
That debt, man, that's
That debt
something.
Yeah, because it's the principle of it. It's the principle. Yeah, if I let you get away with these 2, they gonna come get 4. Yeah. That shit that's the real world.
So that's what really woke my mind up.
What was something for you?
I think it was the first time I went to prison. I'm chilling. We was all off a basketball game. We had just came in. I already learned from like a couple of the OGs, like you come in, never play basketball, never do anything where it can cause an argument to start. So I never played basketball, and if I did, it's with the same people I was with every day. And they got in from an argument from basketball. They come in, everybody taking their showers about 8 o'clock, and everybody kicking. We playing spades on the rock. And the nigga brought it up again, like, hey, what was all that fouling about? Dog get into it, he go to his room, pack all his stuff up, bring it to the base, walk up there and literally stick a knife inside a dude's eye and pull his whole eyeball out his eye. Yeah. And this is when I went from, at the time I went to prison, I was young too. So it was a young side and an old side.
Yeah, gladiator school.
I
remember that. Yeah.
So we went over there with the people that's doing life, 300 years plus. So my first thing, I'm like, God damn.
Oh, y'all young niggas was tearing some shit up in there, though. Don't act like yeah, they was wild over there, man.
And just seeing that, I'm like, man, it's real. You feel me? Like, it's different from, you feel me, you actually seeing somebody flick playing on somebody else and don't care that they did it. Don't care. All right, yeah, I'll be back in 3-4 months. If I see you, it's gonna happen again. So it's like it get programmed in your mind, like, oh, that's normal. So you see it once. Oh, he gets stabbed in the child hall. Oh, that's normal. It's cool. We just still,
still got to eat your food.
Still eat our food like it's normal.
And I think when people go in there green, they forget the thing that, far as the prisoners in there.
They go in there green. What does that mean?
I mean, they go in there just not knowing. Okay. See, if I'm a prisoner, I'm looking for your weakness. Okay. Anything you do, that's my goal.
You listen. You got all the time in the world to study. You know the next man.
Yeah. But far as if I'm coming in there, hey man, it's cool. Hey man, can I get one of them honey buns? Oh man, you cool. You've been talking to me for the last 2 hours. I'll go ahead and take one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole play in itself. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Everything is a play off of trying to find your weakness. You know what I'm saying? So when you get in there, you just got to stick. Like he said, he didn't play basketball because that shit can cover up, go to somewhere else, playing dominoes. Gambling is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Getting credit, weed and shit. You know what I'm saying? You fuck around, had 10.
I done seen it. This last one I just came home from, I done seen people literally like call home. And mama, I need $800. I need $600, $500, and then mama sending it. And I'm just sitting back, just looking like, you doing all this for some weed, or you doing all this for some drugs?
Yeah.
And the mama sending it. I'm talking about the mom going through like, I had a QB. 1 month he spent, and me and was talking. He like, bro, I done spent like $3,000 just on drugs inside the joint.
Don't get on no hard drug. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Do you think that our African American men that go to prison are part of the lost generation?
No.
Do you think that they can be rehabilitated?
Yeah.
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 I mean,
they just have to want it. Because if it's like anything, when you're 100% dissatisfied, then the change will come. So they got to want to change. They got to want to change. You can't go in there.
What programs were set out for you guys when you were in there?
No.
Was there any programs?
Well, I went to the SAI boot camp, and I'm gonna shout out to them because they kept me up out of there, man. When I graduated, that was the first time I seen my daughter walk. You know what I'm saying? She walked up to me when I was graduating and shit. So I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to cut it to these guys, but I just think that it's all on you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a community thing. It ain't no family thing. It's all about, do you want to change? Because I was going back and forth doing 7 months here, 10 months here, a year here in the county jail, and once I really got sent away, I understood this is not my playground I'm playing on. You know what I'm saying? So I got to make sure I abide by the rules and get rich in this playground.
But I just feel like they don't, you feel me, making it no much easier for when you get out, when you feel me trying to look for a job. Like, I just got out January 21st of 21, and I ain't gonna lie, you feel me? Like, I was like, oh, I'm not getting a job, you feel me? And, I went, do my research. I'm like, fuck it, I fill out let me see what Uber Eats talking about. Fuck, I'll fill out Uber Eats just to see. My PO asked me, I'm going to fill it out just so I can screenshot it and send it to him.
Yeah.
You know, Uber Eats told me, no, you a felon.
Yeah.
So you tell me 1 minute, all right, you did your time, come home, you a new man. But yet, I can't even work for Uber Eats. So what are you leading me to do? You give me no other choice.
No government jobs,
No
none of
government
that.
job.
Yeah.
I come home, same as I don't got no support system. I come home with $0. What you expect me to do?
I wish that for me as a parent, and just a concerned person when it comes to our young men being incarcerated, I wish that the last year of a prisoner's bid, that they do it a year before they get out, not like 4 months or 5 months, and then you figure out, okay, are you gonna make it home or anything. I wish that once they have that last year, they go in for the parole board, you know, and they let them know, hey, you getting out, okay, then you take them out of that prison. You put them like in a halfway house, if I can say it like that. But in the halfway house, you know, they make sure you got your driver's license.
But why would they do that?
Card,
This is a business. Why would they do that?
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that's my hopes that at some point our legislators will create something where we set our young men up for success.
It's pointless because I make $30,000 a year off one person, and it's 1 million of y'all's in this prison. Like, it's a business. I want you to come back. I hope you come back.
You see, that's what people like us have to come together to bring about those kind of programs, because they're not going to do it. It's what we have to do for ourselves. We have to set these kind of programs up, come up with nonprofit organizations to be able to do this type of stuff. Because if we don't do it, then it's not going to get done. You know?
How big do you think that the media portray, or what they portray in the media, as far as we can see someone commit a crime, and before we can hear that a crime has been committed, and we can peg, we know they black, we know they white.
Because it's certain stuff, like if I know, like, we all in a room together and we all know you steal, something come up missing,
You gonna blame your ass.
We gonna blame your ass.
Yeah.
If we know all black people, like, we all know, like, y'all can't, soon y'all go to the club, somebody gets shot in there. If I see 1 million black people and a few white people roll out, my first thing is, black person got shot. Because I know white people ain't coming to the club and trying to flick pain on each other.
But when you think about the media...
Stereotypes is
they
real.
getting high.
Yeah. When you think about the media, and when someone commits a crime, African-American commits a crime, they have already within 2 hours have gotten your whole layout of your background. They know what school you done went to. They know how many times you've been arrested. They know your name. They at your mama's door knocking on for, a comment. But when it's a Caucasian person, they don't want to release a name. They don't want to release where
because
they're
they are to look out for their own. They look out for their own. They're not looking out for us.
That goes back to...
But that's the media, though.
Yeah, but that goes...
They are the media.
They are the media. And that goes back to what I said.
America is smudging the black man and raising... They said in America... The white man, it's the white man's dream. It's the white man's world. This is America.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said, man. We keep asking them for freedom,
that's right.
man.
We got to do it on our own. We got to do it to ourselves.
And I want to go back to what you had said earlier, Queen, about the programs. It is programs in prison. You know what I'm saying? That you can go, get your diplomas and stuff like that.
It's very few.
It's very few, but it is some. But the biggest program that we need to start investing in is at home, so you don't take your ass to prison.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Shit, these kids out here that don't got no recreation centers and no basketball courts in their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? They putting tennis courts up and nobody don't even know about tennis. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing that I can say about Mike Duggan. That he's starting to open up this recreation centers back.
I applaud that, definitely, man. Yeah.
People don't have nothing to do.
Because the children put the basketball court in the middle of the street, the police make them take it out.
Take it down, yeah.
So we just need to focus on ourselves. We got to quit going to this white man for help and excuses. We need to focus on ourselves and do it ourselves. That's just all it is, because they don't feed us right. They don't teach us right. They never raise us right. So why do we keep going to them? We too in love with them. That's why we killing ourselves, and we in love with them.
We in love with the devil that give us nothing.
That's right. The devil gives us nothing.
So now that you guys are out, how was the transition from being in prison and then coming out, and like Boog said, now you got to figure out how you're going to provide for your family.
It's not easy. It wasn't easy. It's not easy. You know, it's not easy. It wasn't easy. You like I said before,
Well,
you have to want to change.
What was a couple of the things that you had?
When I was locked up, what helped me and reform myself was the Nation of Islam. And I've been in the Nation of Islam since I was 19 years old, and I'm 50. So that's what's kept my balance. But you know, I needed something with that strict of a discipline and truth to keep me in line. You know, so that's where I've been.
So if you can talk to a brother that's maybe due to be released this week or next week, what would you tell him?
I would tell him first he got to know that he don't want to go back. And he got to be focused on, he got to have a dream, he got to have a plan. And he got to know, he got to believe in himself. And he got to know that it's going to be obstacles and struggle. It's going to be all of that. But you got to keep going because don't quote me, but it says the war's not won to the swift, but to those that can endure. You see, right. So you have to go through the struggle. You have to understand that it's going to be struggles, it's going to be difficulties. It's going to be people that you love that's not even going to believe in what you believe in. So you just got to stay focused and strive forth and stay strong. And you can bring about what you want. You just got to trust and believe in yourself.
But in saying all that, let's just deal with reality. Even if you have that, how are they going to make money to be able to provide?
I make shea butter. It's plenty ways to make money. It's all about how you put. Yes, here go my shea butter right here. She got my shea butter. Boo's Body Butter. I'm telling you. But you have to.
Where can they get that shea butter?
They can get this from me. Boo's Body Butter.
They can get that from me.
BoozeBodyButter.com. My Instagram is Boo's Body Butter. Boo's Body Butter. That's just what it is.
What's up, man?
But you have to you have to go into your mind and you have to really focus on something. Anything, cutting grass, anything. You start with one thing and you'll grow to many things. Yeah. You just have to believe in it. You have to become it. Yes. When I was selling drugs, I dove into the mindset of a drug dealer and I sold drugs, a bunch of drugs. But now I dive into the shea butter and I sell it like it's a pack of blow. You know what I'm saying? This is what you have to do. Yeah. You have to believe in yourself and you have to die. You have to become what you want.
Now, with all the stuff that you guys see inside of prison, a lot of people come out with PTSD,
which is post-traumatic stress. Yes.
But we know it's post-traumatic slavery disorder.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real tough.
You know, how do you transition from what you've seen in there and how you were treated back to society that says, you know, hey,
you got to work on your own spirit.
Yeah. It's gonna take time because if you do the same routine over and over again, it's repetitive. So it's gonna take you some years, probably some decades to get over with. Like, I was in prison most of my 20s. Like, I really never experienced a whole year out of prison in my 20s. So all I know is kind of like, I ain't gonna trying to be funny, but prison. I know how to go in there, what to order first. I know when to go in there, who not to talk to, what to do. I know, you feel me, how to get something in rotation in prison. So with me doing this for years and years and months, now I gotta break the cycle. And with me breaking the cycle, it might be therapy, it might be just talking to somebody, it might be just crying. It really depends on the person. But like Maniac said, you gotta really just be tired of just going to prison. Until you tired, you gonna keep going because it's always gonna have a bed for you. It's always, the door always gonna be open.
Yeah. You got to be 100% dissatisfied, not 99.9. 100%. You got to be 100% dissatisfied, and that's when the change comes about.
Yeah. Now you guys had families, you had children when you went in.
I didn't have children when I went in.
You didn't have children?
I was a child. I was 16 when I went in.
But,
I didn't have any
children when you went in?
I did.
I did.
So how was that transition, you know, with making, you know, in your mind trying to make that time back up.
I think I'm gonna go back to the question you asked probably about a little while ago. As far as when I got out and had to humble myself because I felt like the world owed me something. You know what I'm saying? I went and worked at a car wash. You know what I'm saying? People laughed at me like, oh, he working at a car wash. You know what I'm saying? Had to humble myself because, like I said, everything is driven off materialistic. I can't buy nothing at a car wash. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up having a strong woman with me. I ended up working at that car wash for a couple years, saved my money, put myself through truck driving school, and now I got a trucking company. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm fighting the case now, so it's kind of messed up. But at the end of the day, it's all about your drive. Like he said, man, you got to come out here. Shit not going to go your way. You know what I'm saying? People not going to look at you like, oh, we happy you home. That's for the first 3-4 days. Man. After that, nigga, where you going to stay at? I ain't got no cigarette for you. You know what I'm saying? So
money for
So I think we need to talk about more of the resolution of what the hell we do to stay out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
because ain't too much.
Because in there, it could be, you can watch TV and see all kind of stories what happened in there. But shit, we need to see the success stories of people that got out. That's what I'm saying.
One thing that should be up in the forefront, and that maybe because I'm just a mom, you know what I'm saying. But I know talking to my son, I tell him all the time, look at the people who were there for you when you were in there. You know what I'm saying? If them jokers wasn't there for you while you in there, why are you rushing to go back? You know what I'm saying?
Friendship.
But didn't bring no loyalty.
But it'd be different. It'd be different because it's 2 years short. Because then one minute you say, all right, I did this by myself. Then the next minute you be looking for somebody to help you. Yeah. When I was in prison, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be mad if somebody ain't answer the phone because it was free. Because I'm calling on my money, but it's like, you don't.
They were too scared that you was gonna ask for something.
But listen, but at the end of the day, these people that know I never asked for nothing when I was in the world. Yeah. But I can't expect somebody to stop their life and answer a phone for my mama. Yeah, because mama, you brought me to this world. Yeah. You supposed to answer that phone. Mm-hmm. I'm your son.
Right.
Another person, I can't expect you to answer that phone because if I do, I'm gonna be disappointed. Being disappointed in prison leads to depression.
Yeah. You can't have high expectations. And then you calling me, nigga, I gotta feed my family. I'm out here moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? You calling me, what up? What you doing? Shit, where the conversation going? You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of telling you about Tiny from the block. Still, you know, I'm on the bullshit. So at the end of the day, man, it's all about building yourself, man. And I'm not blaming nobody for me going to jail. I did that shit just like I built my company by myself. You know what I'm saying? So
my father told me when I came home, he picked me up and he was like, your boys, they out here, they been out here. He say, you don't have no attitude for those that didn't accept your call, didn't come see you, didn't send you no money. You don't be mad at them because they was out here still living their life. Yeah. Now you out here living your life, live your life.
Right. But once you get the blueprint of life, now you shouldn't go back on the dumb shit. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? Once you get a blueprint of, let me go ahead and get this like I did, get a little job, go to school, start your own business. Once you get that blueprint, you go back on the dumb shit, that's your fault.
That's right, because when you take away something to build yourself up and then go back to it, you taking away a good block and you adding a bad block. Yeah. And the bad block has no foundation. You crumbling yourself and killing yourself all over again.
One thing I like that a lot of times they're not going to put on the news or put out there, but I'm glad that the recidivism rate has come down, you know what I'm saying, to a 26.9%. You know, it used to be high.
Because that's because they started to change some of the laws. It was only high because, you feel me, you got so many people that's crooked inside the system that's sending people away without no real evidence. My homeboy inside of prison right now been there 10 years. It'll be 10 years next month. He been there for 10 years for a wrongly convicted case. Kim Worthy knows this. She had sent him a letter saying like, yes, I've went through all my cases and I found your case. Can you help me? She tell him this. Can you help me get you out of prison?
Shout him out, man. Maybe some lawyers that want to help him.
My man's Gary Posey. You know, I know him by Slug, but my homeboy Gary Posey, he wrongly convicted. I'm talking about as far as evidence where it even shows he's not there on the crime scene. Kim Worthy knows this. But now it's a fight of you get yourself out. Yeah, we know we locked you up. Now you fight to get yourself out. If you ain't got no money or if you ain't got nothing going, you stuck.
If you don't have that support system,
you stuck in prison.
You stuck. When I say you stuck, when I know when my son was in prison, if something didn't sound right, I didn't care. I was picking up the phone. I was calling the warden every day. It got to the point he was like, "Hi, Miss Evans. You know, he's doing good. I'm going to send somebody down there to check on him." You know what I'm saying? If I can't rest, you not resting. you're going to get a phone call from me 10 times a day.
I don't know how it is now, but I know when I was locked up, we could go to the law library.
Yeah.
So if you could go to the law library, then you could become your own paralegal, then you can get yourself out.
But
you can look at
But
certain
if you ain't
stuff.
got no money, a quick 6-month process can take 7 years.
That's right.
Oh, hell yeah.
And in them 7 years, you keep getting
You still
denied.
gonna need
You
somebody.
still gonna after you keep getting denied, and you keep seeing. Because I lived it with my homeboy. I was in there on this case for like 3 years, and I lived it every day with him. Right, motion after motion, he get denied. After a while, it breaks the
don't do
person's
that.
system. It breaks the person's spirits. Then on top of that, you got your mama passing away, and it's all from experience. Because my homeboy lost his mom, then he lost his dad, then he lose other family members, and on top of that, you fighting, and you're not supposed to be locked up.
You got to keep
I know
striving.
when
You got to keep fighting.
You got to keep fighting.
When my son
It's
was
easier
locked
said
up
than done, but
during the pandemic, and all those prisoners were contracting COVID-19, and they was just dropping dead in front of them.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's scary.
It was not just scary for them, but it was scary for us because we didn't know, the next phone call. What was my son gonna be saying? He caught COVID in prison.
Yeah.
And they didn't even want to get him bleach. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? To clean up the area. You know what I'm saying? Or they give them one spray bottle for the whole pot. That was crazy.
That's
They
crazy.
didn't want to give them vegetables. They didn't want to give them vitamin C, vitamin D, stuff that was going to build their immune system. Because, let's just face it. Black lives don't matter.
It really don't.
You know what I'm saying? So if we can, let a good, I don't know, 100, 200,
But it's so
300
crazy. I
die.
seen somebody die in prison off COVID, and we telling the CO like, hey, cuz been back there sick. This when it first kicked off. He throwing up and everything. But this already after they diagnosed it with COVID, and they telling everybody to wear a mask. He died like throwing up all. We telling the CO like, hey, cuz back there ain't feeling good. Like, oh, okay, well we gonna have a nurse come see him. He tell the nurse like, I'm not getting up. I'm not putting a little thermostat in my mouth. I'm not doing none of that. And they was like, all right, cool.
I remember my son called
And,
I remember
and
that.
the next day he
Yeah.
died.
He had COVID and this and that.
Yeah.
He wasn't feeling good. He couldn't hardly breathe and this and that. And then they were still yelling at him like this little thin piece of cloth they gave him.
cover his face.
Cover your face up.
Smaller
I
than a
told you,
t-shirt
get your
like
t-shirt.
this.
Get your t-shirt
Put it
Wrap
up
on.
that
there.
t-shirt around.
And they was, even the fellas in prison.
And
was
that's
in the
why I
background
don't-
yelling.
and that's
Fellas
why I
like,
don't respect
"We
a lot
got
of
him.
that,
We got him. We gonna make sure he okay. We finna let him take something. You know what I'm saying? And that calmed my nerves, my spirit. But let me say, I want to send a shout out to State Rep Kyra.
Oh yeah, she was a big help.
Kyra Harris
Yeah.
Bolden, because as I was calling the warden and on his butt, I was calling my state rep like, hey, listen, they ain't got bleach, they ain't got gloves. You know what I'm saying? They not, they switching them from one pod to the next, and they don't know who got COVID, and they can spreading it.
When I seen a man die in prison from doing 20 years, he died from COVID. He had 3 months left. He died, did 20 years in prison. And
But she was on it.
it took them 5 days to notify his wife that he's passed away.
But she was on it though.
Yeah.
She was on it. She was calling like
Sad.
they need
Sad.
bleach, they need gloves, so they need new masks. Give them 3 or 4 masks so they can switch out or whatever. When my son would come home, she would get on the phone. How you doing? What's really going on inside? Because they only gonna tell us what they want us to know.
Yeah.
And he was able to communicate some things, and she was able to jump on those things like, I need an answer right now. Why is this happening? Why is that?
But you
happening?
got to think, if nobody's not giving that answer on the inside to the outside, imagine what else is going on that y'all don't know about. You know what I'm
So
saying?
much.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
we
much
have to put
stuff
pressure
going on.
our state reps too, because
Yeah.
they can at any time go into a prison and
Facts.
do a walkthrough.
But see, no.
they notified them. They
Listen, that
notified them
walkthrough,
coming.
They
nah,
have to,
they
though.
That's what I'm
notified
saying.
me. They used to tell me like,
Yeah, they let
all right,
you know.
it's the state coming. If y'all don't be on y'all best behavior, ain't no yard. If y'all don't be on y'all best behavior, ain't no phone. We'll lock this boy down.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot
Yeah.
of these state reps don't just walk up in there saying, I want to see what's going on.
No, they
They
can't.
call, they make an
Yeah.
appointment. They,
It's for
They
security.
give them a courtesy.
But it's for security, though. They can't just walk to no prison because they got to make sure that that's a state representative. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, even I mean they can, but they gotta have security. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Going to no
so
prison.
crazy. When I seen them come through, they never had security. And they'd tell us like, "Hey, y'all be on y'all best behavior. We'll give y'all ice cream." Or so they'd tell us that. Like they'd tell us that. And soon as they come in, everybody be on their best behavior because we already programmed that we want something. You feel me? That we ain't used to.
And that's funded and all that. You know
so they come through, they'll see it, and once they leave, people get stabbed again.
I got a question for you, Queen. You was a mother that was fighting for your son's release. Is it any programs that women can join, or are you a part of a program? Are you still fighting? You know what I'm saying, for inmates now, or what kind of drive are you on right now?
I have hooked up with J Love, and you can find her on Facebook. And let me see the other young lady's name. Kimberly Woodson and Elder Leslie. That's over with Michigan United and Michigan Liberation. I've connected with them, and they're still doing the Justice for Gerald.
Okay.
Her son was wrongly convicted, put in prison, and he had some kind of blood condition.
Okay.
And he wasn't able to get his blood transfusions or anything like that. So, I'm just trying to connect to them, and they're still fighting for wrongful convictions, to pass legislation. Right now, they're working on the good time, get that back. Yeah. And I've heard that now Kwame has got on board with that. Kwame Kilpatrick.
Shout out to Kwame.
They can, get
I
that
think we the
good time
only
back.
state, except for another, it might be two more, or might be one, I think it's one, they don't have good time on any site, sort of good time. Like you do in Michigan, 100% of your time, if not more. You go with 3 years, you might do 6. That's
The
crazy.
legislation is on the
They're gonna
table.
definitely flop you.
They definitely gonna flop you.
It's on the table, you know what I'm saying? But Mitch McConnell refused to call it to the floor. So we have to get on these people, and say, hey, it ain't about you.
Conjugal
You know what I'm
visits.
saying? Now you may
You know what I'm
not,
saying?
you may not want it to pass, but you don't have the right to put that bill, on your desk and just leave it.
Oh no, they no, that's
You have
crazy
to
because
bring it to the floor.
they put it to the floor, but they have it all the way down on a ballot, and you will never know what it is. So if you don't know what it is, you don't know what you're voting for. So they do that all the time. Like when I was in there, it was on the ballot.
Yeah.
It was on the ballot. You could have voted, and we could have had good time, installed into our system. But if they don't, if they tell you it's they ain't gonna tell you it's good time. They tell you G12 or some crazy stuff like that. You don't know what G12 is. Why would you vote for it? So if
But the
stuff like
legislators
that.
know what the codes are and stuff like that. So we just have to get
That's
it
why
passed
we
through
have
the
to-
legislation, and we have to stay on these people's back. That Mitch McConnell. I don't know for the life of me why he's still there. However, we got to get that's legislation
down
that's on
with
his
the
desk.
squad.
You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, bring it to the floor. You don't have the right to let it sit there. You know what I'm saying?
I just said that because I know it's a lot of parents that have kids that's incarcerated, but I want the other parents to know that once your kid get out, still help the motherfuckers that's incarcerated because they still need y'all as well. You know what I'm saying? Or a lot of people that don't have parents, and you know what I'm saying, they still need help.
Did oh God, I can't even think of the name of it. They just went up to the ladies' prison to protest up there, because of the food. You know what I'm saying? The young ladies being raped, scabbies and all that stuff up in there. And so they're, I'm just jumping aboard, trying to figure out all this stuff.
Just keep the fight, man.
We have to keep fighting for the people that's locked up. But not only that, we have to fight for our children that just got out. Because although they're outside of the prison, a lot of them are still living in prison mentally. You know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure that they get the need, what they need to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's counseling, trying to get them connected to a mentor, trying to get them connected to where they can have gainful employment, and just be successful.
I think what you doing right now is very positive in the community because
That's right.
I would rather listen to somebody who been in prison except for somebody that never been there telling me, oh my God, you're gonna be okay, it's easy to get through, just pray and all this. You cannot tell me, you ain't been through it, you ain't experienced. Don't no kid want to listen to nowadays a person that's telling them what to do that ain't lived that life or is living a life currently, because what I supposed to gain from you don't know how it is in the streets. So coming from me that's been in prison and that's still around that age, and you feel me, that demographic, they'd rather listen to me because it's like, all right, it's coming from somebody that was locked up.
So let's go around the table before we close and give our last comments. You know, if you were sitting in a room and you're talking to a group of young men that are potentially or can potentially be looking at the criminal justice system as their next step in life, what would you tell them?
Believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You have to find you a place of peace inside yourself. Pray. You have to believe and know and have faith in yourself to know that you can make it happen. You just have to do it. You got to dive into it and become it. We have to, it starts at home. We have to teach our children. This conversation we need to teach our children. My children, I have a 24-year-old daughter and I have a 17-year-old son. And I had them in school. Both of them started school when they was 3 years old. When they learned how to use the bathroom and wipe themselves, they're old enough to go to school because they can tell you when somebody doing something to them. And it helped them a lot. My son, I made sure that I didn't raise him the way that I was raised. And my daughter, she's doing beautiful. They're very intelligent. They're very humble, good-spirited children. We have to instill it in the children. It starts at home. Like the brother say, he's sticking with his village. That's cool. But when your village go outside, they got to spread it to the next village because we got to do it ourselves. Believe in yourself and know that you are God's chosen people and take it to the top. That's the main thing. Jesus wasn't white. He was black. He looked just like me. So when you know that you look like the God, then you understand the power that they asked Jesus, where's this kingdom of God? Jesus said it's within you. So if the kingdom is within you, that means God is within you. That means you can bring about every power that God has because he gave you power and dominion over everything. So believe in yourself and know that you can do it.
What's up, brother? Appreciate that one, definitely.
What you say?
I say just key in on one thing. Too many times we focus on many different goals, dreams, and aspirations instead of keying in on one. I tell a kid, like, I don't know about you, but waking up every day figuring it out ain't the move. Waking up every day trying to figure out how you're going to make your next dollar or trying to convince somebody to spend some money with you is absurd. When you can just own a business, own your own company, own your own brand, own your own, whatever you're trying to do, own it.
That's right.
Own it. As long as you own something, you can always find somebody to work for you. That's it. Tell them to stay far away from the streets because the streets are only going to get you one place or two places. Really, at the end of the day, one, because if you in prison, you really dead for real.
That's right.
Don't nobody care about you dead. And so it's going to end up, death. So I just tell the kid, just stay in school if you can. Just stay in school. Like the brother said, just keep fighting every day you wake up. Say, all right, I'm doing it for my kid. I'm doing it for somebody. Wake up every day with a why. As long as you wake up with a why, you straight. That's what I know that.
I'll just tell them, this is probably the biggest time in black history other than Black Wall Street that we got black excellence, man. If you don't see all this free money out here, then your ass supposed to go to jail. It's nothing but money out here. You could get first you start your business, go get your LLC, save you some money, with your EIN number, go get you some business credit, get your Duns and Bradstreet number. You know what I'm saying? This shit is not hard. And then you could build your business credit faster, you could build your personal credit, man. So, you know what I'm saying? I could tell them a lot about that. But if you don't see all this black excellence and all these brands being pumped and you can make some money off other black people that's spending money with you, then you in the way. I'm Uncle Dub, Herbal Tea Podcast, every Sunday at 7:30. Fuck with us.
Hey, can I say something else? And my name Boogie BMF, man. I can be, followed and, researched and, all that on, Instagram, Twitter and all that, lovely stuff. And, I'm an artist, so check me out.
Definitely.
Tell us where we can find your product once again.
Oh, yeah, you can find my Booze Body Butter. This shea butter right here, let me tell you something. I take my time. I put my love, time, and energy into this. It cures dry skin.
It's really good. When I first got it, I was like, dang, this
that's right.
It
melts to the touch of your skin. If you have eczema, it might not cure the eczema, but it makes it damn near look like it's gone. So, you can find this on my Instagram. Is Booze Body Butter. My website is boozebodybutter.com or boozebodybutter.myshopify.com. What's my IG? Maniac 119.
119.
And that's it right there.
That's it.
You can find me, Wealthy C Woman, Common on Instagram, and you can find me at Carmen Evans on Facebook. I have 2 books I want to show you guys. Covenant Relationships, Understanding What God Desires for Us. My second book is Life Happens. And just like we was talking to the guys today, life happens, but it's about what you do, when life happens.
That's right.
So you can pick this up, and I have another book that will be released within the next couple of weeks. It's called Let's Be Friends, and it's a book on autism. April is Autism Awareness Month, so we got that coming out. And you can catch us here every Saturday at 4 o'clock on Podcastic. We appreciate you guys coming and joining us. I thank each and every one of you guys for sharing your story and giving us some inspiration. And we look forward to, hearing and seeing all the good things that you have in store for your life. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, Queen.
For having me.
Thank you.